Are you in a roommate marriage? You can live in the same house, sleep in the same bed, and still feel completely disconnected. And the scary part is, a lot of marriages don't fall apart overnight. They slowly drift into what I call a roommate marriage. And I'll tell you why this matters. I've already heard this twice already this week in sessions. Couples saying things like, we're not fighting necessarily, but we're not close. We're functioning, but something just feels off. It feels like we're just roommates. And if you're not careful, you'll settle into a version of marriage that looks fine on the outside, but it's slowly disconnecting on the inside. So here's the truth. You don't fall out of love, you fall out of intentionality. Roommate marriages don't usually start with a big issue. They start with drifting. You get busy, you get tired, you get comfortable, and without even realizing it, you stop pursuing each other. If you're not intentionally moving towards your spouse, you're unintentionally drifting away from them. So what does a roommate marriage actually look like? Well, it sounds like this. We talk about schedules, but not our hearts. We manage the house, but we're not building a relationship. We're around each other, but not really with each other. And over time, you start to coexist instead of connect. You're managing a life together, but not building intimacy together. It also starts to show up subtle ways like you take each other for granted. You stop noticing each other. You get more critical and less compassionate. You start blame shifting instead of owning your part. And here's where it gets deeper. Sometimes what you're reacting to in your spouse isn't even about your spouse. It's old triggers, old wounds, old patterns showing up in the current relationship. Sometimes you're not reacting to your spouse, you're reacting to your past. Now here's why this matters. Roommate marriages don't feel explosive, they feel comfortable. And that's what makes them dangerous, because nothing feels bad enough to change. But everything is slowly drifting apart. Roommate marriages feel peaceful, but they're quietly dying. So how do you get out of it? It's actually not that complicated, but it does require intentionality on your part. First, reprioritize the marriage. Your marriage cannot live on the leftovers of life. You can't live on after work, after kids, not just when I have time. It has to be on purpose. Your marriage will not grow by accident. It only grows on purpose. Second, get out of self-focus. Start serving your spouse again. Not keeping score, not waiting for them to go first, but asking, what would it look like for me to show up for them today? Third, rebuild communication. Ask each other these two questions. What excites you in our marriage? What keeps you stuck in our marriage? Most couples stay stuck because they're not asking the questions that actually matter. And when you ask, don't defend, don't interrupt, don't fix, just listen. Fourth, bring God back to the center. Most importantly, pray together, pray for each other, invite God into the marriage. And when God is at the center, your perspective of your spouse starts to change. Let me leave you with this. You don't drift into a strong marriage, you drift into distance. But you can choose to move back toward each other, one conversation, one moment, one intentional step at a time. If this is resonating with you, don't ignore it. Have the conversation. Take a step into the marriage. Move toward your spouse. Stay intentional and build a marriage that lasts.